Hey, I wanted to do a really quick before and after of my game engine around the game jam I ran to improve it. So, firstly, before EngJam, have a look for these features. I have some user interface widgets. I have the grid widget where all the action of the video game is supposed to happen, and I have some entity behavior. So, for the user interface, I have sprites and other text can go on a box. It looks pretty bad, but that's programmer art for you. If I hit map gen, it actually regenerates the map, the actual map generation inside this grid widget. So going to that grid widget, I can zoom in and I can pan around. And after you've panned the camera, it doesn't recenter the camera when you move around. But if you hit recenter, you can still zoom, and the player's walk animation stays in the middle of the camera's view. So not only are the sprite positions animated from box to box, but the camera's position can follow an animation as well to smoothly follow stuff around. And there is a turn cycle you can see in the corner here that when the player inputs a action, it hands off control to the NPCs for them to compute their own actions. The NPCs are aware of things they can not walk into, like walls, but they don't really have any logic beyond that. Additionally, if we just look at the map itself, I have line of sight, so you can't see around corners. It's dimmed out to show that you wouldn't be able to see it, but it's still visible to help me debug. If we go down here to a new hallway, when you come to new content, a new area you haven't seen, you will expose that area, and then when you walk out of side of it, it will be hidden again. So standard dungeon crawling mechanics where you have to explore the dungeon to know what's around you. So this was my plan for improving the engine during my jam, and the primary complaint I had with the engine, the features were coming along nicely, but the script portion of it was really not looking like good, healthy Python code. It was looking like the interface was not designed correctly. So EngJam for me was going to be all about refactoring the Python interface to my new system of presenting C++ capabilities to the Python scripting engine. So the results are that I got about 57% of my key results demonstrated. So I'll fire that up just to look at it. So here's what the new engine looks like. There's no grid and there's no game behavior because I haven't ported that old behavior into the new graphical type hierarchy yet. But if I use the Python shell associated with this window, which is where I'm debugging all of my behaviors, I can now put in some Python code that's a nice organized use of a new class, and we define that object. I can change its color just by saying .fill color and assigning it, and I can add something to be drawn on the screen by appending it to a collection of UI elements. And the engine basically does not care about the difference between Python and C++ created objects at this point. So once I press a key to draw one additional frame, you can see that new object I created is available. So now the Python code that people script their games in will be nice and organized instead of being a nightmare where you have to remember the order that things were created in so that you can get it to function properly.